Good morning, everybody. I'm your host Diogenes, and welcome to a new video. So, M12, NASDAQ, right? We took all-time highs again. What are we doing right now? Nothing but accumulation, right? So on M12 yesterday in Asia, we created this range here, right? We closed above its high, which confirmed this range, and in London we were quite stuck between the high and the low of the range. So we were in a ranging situation, right? Let's check on M1. So we were stuck, as I said, in this range, right? This was bottom of the range, right? And this was top of the range, right? So all you can do here is wait for your sweep top flips, right? So here we sweep this low, right? We sweep this low into this origin, right? We sweep it and we flip, right? So here was the sweep, right? And here was the flip, okay? So what do? You always enter, right? And you always put the stop under the range, and you go for your 1-to-1, or you target some unmitigated 50%, right? Like this one here. You target it, right? And look at the reaction, right? It was the cause of this huge pullback that would have killed your profits. This was also another unmitigated zone which was responsible of this pullback. So you know what's happening, all right? If you cannot stand pullbacks and your emotions will get cooked here, right? You just exit at those unmitigated areas, like either at their first tap or at the 50%, right? Okay, so again, right? Here we were back in top of the range, right? We sweep this high. Another sweep top flip, right? So we sweep it, right? We flip. So enter immediate shorts, right? Target. Since there is no liquidity and there's not liquidity but no unmitigated areas, right? And this was like trend line liquidity, right? So this is easy liquidity to take, and your target will be this low, right? Or the 1-to-1, okay? Again, we take this low, right? We sweep it. sorry, we sweep it. Sorry guys. So we sweep it, we wait for the flip, which will happen once we close here, right? Above this candle, okay? Right? So the moment we close above it, we swept. So we put our limit at the top and the stop under, right? What do we target? Since there was again there is some small mitigated zone here, so we just target it, right? We target this high, right? And or your 1-to-1, and it would be very good. Okay, so now we were at 8, right? And we had news coming here at 8:30, right? So wherever we have a range or a accumulation, the first move will always be a false breakout, right? The first breakout is usually a false breakout, especially if we don't leave this range with huge displacements, right? So if we take this range and we immediately flip, right? This is your signal of shorts, right? But with news coming and everything, I don't advise you guys to trade it or do anything for that matter, right? So you just wait for your zones to be created, okay? So here, after the news, yeah, we take this protected lows low, right? So for me it was a flip, right? So when we flipped, okay, for me we confirmed this. Sorry, let me guys delete everything up. When we flipped, we confirmed this huge zone, right? Right. So when we closed under this zone, for me we confirmed this, right? So what do, right? You either wait for your 1-to-1 at the 50%, right? And I saw yesterday in my buddy's Mark live stream, a lot of guys took this 50%, right? It was good trade. And or you'd be waiting, right, for the mitigation of the original CSS or order block, which was here, right? This was the original order block, okay? Now wherever you have like news wicks like this, you just ignore them as if it never happened, right? So this was not liquidity or something you would be waiting for, right? You just ignore the wick and treat this range as a normal range, and this high would be your liquidity, right? This wick was huge, so it had liquidity in its wick, right? So guys who put stops above this kind of swing highs, they ignore the wicks and they put their stop maximum here, and they also like to put the stop at the bodies. That's why those reactions here, those wicks, Those wicks are nothing but taking the stops above those bodies, right? Okay, so liquidity being here, the OB being here, what do? Right? You just wait for your CSS, which happened here, right? CSS, okay? And you take the short, right? Now, remember when I told you to never trust the CSS, that they can take them again, right? So here everything was perfect, but they still wicked the CSS. So what do? You always cover the top of the zone, right? You take here 1 to 1, or your target your first liquidity, especially in cases like this when you have liquidity above or under some unmitigated order block, right? When you have this case, price can shoot back up again like this. Take something else and then go to your TP, right? So you gotta be careful of what you're doing, and depending on your psychology or your experience, you'll start to know and notice what and when to do stuff, right? So for me, the trade was this. It was easy shorts for me, right? So I took this trade like that, and then, right, what happened again? We confirmed this zone, right? So our zone was this now. So new zone, bearish zone was this, okay? All right. So this zone was again our one setup for life, right? So the liquidity was here, right? Let's call it the sweep, so it can be clearer for you guys to read, right? Last unmitigated CSS was here, right? The OB, this. So what do? Right? One setup for life. You take the trade, cover the zone, and target the lows, right? That's our one setup for life, and we take the 1 to 1 also. So first trade, 1 to 1. It's always this fast, right? It will give it to you very fast. Then you go, or you leave some partials for the week low, right? Now that's why I tell you to always take your money, right, at liquidity above unmitigated order blocks, right? Because they are always responsible for those huge retracements, okay? So like here, it didn't happen. They went straight into it, right? In here, this could have given the same retracement as this, right? So that's why. Or you could have just waited a little bit longer and take your TP at the end, right? So for me, after this, I was not interested in anything else, right? For me, the day was pretty like it was a small range day. It didn't provide lots of setups or lots of points like yesterday or every day before, right? But those days will happen now more and more because we are getting close to summer. So you guys need to be more ready to trade those small ranges day, right? And don't forget, please don't get cooked, right? Because we just took all-time high again and we are doing nothing but accumulating here. So remember, internal zones will get cooked. This breaker is nothing but like some kind of stop hunt, right? They're not necessarily bearish or bullish, right? So just be careful. We are accumulating. We can take still highs and lows again, right? That's it. If you had a good week, yeah, just go and have like a long weekend, enjoy family or do some other business, right? Okay, that's all for today. See you guys in tomorrow's review. Ciao, ciao.